Have you ever heard of a queen who built her empire on lies and then just disappeared with billions?
Sounds like something out of a movie.
Well, it's not. Today we're going deep into the crazy story of Ruja Ignatova,
The Cryptoqueen.
the one and only, and her cryptocurrency OneCoin, which turned out to be, well, not so crypto after all.
Ah, yes, OneCoin. A classic tale of too good to be true.
Exactly. We've got research, articles, the whole shebang. We're going to try and piece together how she managed to pull off one of the biggest scams in history.
Leaving behind a lot of victims and a lot of unanswered questions.
So she basically built this empire on deception, convinced people to invest in something that, well, didn't really exist. It's pretty mind-blowing.
What I find so interesting about this case is it wasn't just greed, It speaks to how much people want to believe in something.
The promise of easy money.
Yeah, that desire to get rich quick. And how easily we can get swept up in hype, especially in the world of crypto, which, let's be honest, can be pretty confusing to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Ignatova, she knew how to play the game. She had a doctorate in law, worked at McKinsey. You wouldn't think scammer looking at her resume.
Oh, totally. She used that, air of respectability to her advantage.
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Exactly. But if you look back, there were signs. Early on, she had a conviction for fraud in Germany with her father. Seems like dishonesty ran in the family.
So this wasn't her first rodeo.
No.
Before OneCoin, there was Bitcoin. And surprise, surprise, that went belly up too.
Classic pattern. Start small, learn the ropes, and then go big.
And go big she did. OneCoin was supposed to be the Bitcoin killer. They had huge events, marketed it like crazy.
They were good. They knew how to sell a dream. They told people they were going to be rich, part of something revolutionary.
Playing on people's emotions, their aspirations.
It was a classic Ponzi scheme, but with a modern twist. Using the whole cryptocurrency thing to make it seem legitimate, new, exciting.
So how did she manage to fool so many people for so long? What made people vulnerable to this?
Well, like we were saying, people want easy money, financial freedom. And scammers like Ignatova, they know how to tap into that. Plus, OneCoin, they created this whole sense of urgency. Like, you got to get in now or you'll miss out.
Fear of missing out, the good old FOMO.
Exactly. But, beneath all the glitz and glam, there was a problem. A big one.
What was that?
They lied about having a blockchain.
Which is?
A blockchain is like a public record of all the transactions. It's what makes crypto, transparent and secure. But OneCoin's blockchain didn't exist.
So it was all just, what, smoke and mirrors?
Pretty much. Just a bunch of fancy words and promises with nothing to back it up.
And then, like a ghost, she disappears in 2017. Billions of dollars gone.
Poof. Vanished.
Her co-founder, Sebastian Greenwood, he wasn't this lucky, ended up getting caught, sentenced to 20 years.
But Ignatova, nobody knows for sure. Some people think she's still out there somewhere, living it up with all that stolen money.
It's crazy to think that someone could get away with something like this. It really makes you wonder, how can we protect ourselves from these kinds of scams? Especially in the world of crypto, which is still, kind of like the Wild West.
Yeah, good question. It comes down to education, I think. We got to be skeptical. Don't just jump into something because it sounds promising.
Don't believe the hype.
Exactly. Research, understand what you're investing in. Look for those red flags. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Words to live by, for sure. We've talked a lot about the dark side of crypto today, but it's not all bad. It's important to remember that.
For sure. It's a powerful technology with a lot of potential. But like any new technology, there are going to be growing pains. Bad actors are always going to try to exploit things.
It's a constant cat and mouse game. So what do you think? What can we do to make the crypto world a safer place? Have you ever encountered any scams?
Oh, I'm sure plenty of people listening have. That's why we need to keep talking about this, learning from each other, sharing our experiences.
Absolutely. We want to hear from you. Share your stories, your thoughts. This is a conversation we need to keep having.
The crypto space is constantly changing. New scams popping up all the time. The more we know, the better we can protect ourselves.
So stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, don't be afraid to ask questions. If something doesn't feel right, trust your gut. That's all for today's deep dive. Until next time, be careful out there.
And keep those critical thinking caps on.
We'll see you next time.
Bye!